going, everybody? My name is Lazarus, for those that don't know, and today I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about something before the video starts. So, as you all know, I have a blue Yeti down here, and it is in the very most ghetto setup, per se, about the stand right here. So you can see the two little dials here. There's one on the bottom that tells you what type of mode the Yeti is in, and then you have the other one, which is the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate what game does. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the video you're about to watch has the gain up a little bit, because the way that this set is set up is that if you move this around a little bit, the gain gets turned up. So this is what I sound like with the gain all the way down. This is where the gain was in the actual video. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to have the volume turned down a little bit lower than usual. I'm going to go ahead and turn that back down because that's probably really annoying. I'm going to have the volume turned down a little bit, but you're going to hear a lot of feedback, per se, in my voice, so it's going to sound a lot like muffled, or I don't know, it's just going to sound full, but it's not going to sound like this. So, I hope you guys can get over that. I don't really have a way to combat this, per se, aside from just buy a Yeti mic or a Yeti shock mount, which I can't really do because that's $50 for a piece of metal, and I don't want to do that. So hope you guys can put up with that. Otherwise, this is the story about how I ended up getting stitches. So hope you guys enjoy. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Is it ironic that this game still has Advanced Warfare ads on it rather than Ghosts? I don't know. That's just weird. So today is gonna be a little different, I guess. Normally the past two episodes I've told a story. This one I'm gonna tell another story. Obviously, that's why it says story time with Laz in the title. But this time it's gonna be a little different. The past two were like stupid stories. This time it was about an injury. So a while ago, my best friend Chance Morgan, or Dreaming Chronic on YouTube, ended up moving away from Texas about a couple years ago, like 4 or 5, something like that. And with it, when he left, his house stayed, obviously, but he left a bunch of his stuff inside the house. So I would constantly be going inside of his house, looking for stuff to get for him, so that whenever the next time I saw him, I could just give him his stuff back. Well, a couple times my other friends got the same idea, but little did I know that they were just trying to be scavengers, I guess. And the only way to get inside of this house after a while was to go through a window by the front entrance in the door. The window's locked now, and a family lives there, which is kind of annoying because me and my friends were planning on like keeping that house under wraps for a long time, but we're kids, what are we gonna do? The way that my friends found this is because eventually, one of the few times that people came to like fix up the house, they locked the door because they knew stuff was gone or something. They knew there were people that were going inside there. So the only way in was through this window. After a while, my friends that were looting the house rather than getting stuff for my friend Chance forgot to keep the window a little cracked. So the window was now closed and it was locked from the inside. Needless to say, I needed to find another way to get into the house to get the rest of Chance's stuff. During this time, I was a huge idiot, and I decided that around this time, the best way to open windows is to not grab the sides or anything and like pull or push up. No, instead I put my hands directly on the glass like this, pushed in and whatever direction the window moved. Needless to say, this was going to lead to an utter mistake because I was really skinny at this time. I was in athletics for like 3 years playing football. I was a center on my football team. I was skinny enough to where I thought I could squeeze into the tiniest of windows. So maybe a window about yay big, like in total. I thought I could squeeze through it. I was like, hey guys, why don't we just go through this window? They're like, alright, how about you open it? I put my hands on the glass, and because this window was one of those ones that goes up, I was pushing in and up. Need I remind you, this house has been like 40 years old and was not in the greatest condition. I feel the window actually budge a little bit open, and I'm like, guys, it's almost open, and then crash! The window broke and shattered into millions of pieces. Just knowing that someone probably heard that, I kind of freaked out a little bit, and I was like, okay, just look around, there's a little bit of glass, and I looked up on my arm. There is a gash on my arm. I don't know if you can see that because of the lighting right here. There's a gash where I actually had my arm slit open in that one spot. My arm was split open. I was about to say everybody on my team. Everybody around me, it was the other two guys who, one of them was a looter and the other one was actually a friend of Chance. they saw that I had slit my arm open, and because we weren't very far from my high school and we had football practice anyway that day, we immediately rushed over to the high school's athletics doctor. I told my friend to go first. He went in and said, Coach Brocksterman, we got a little bit of a problem I need you to address. And he said, oh, well, it can wait. I'm currently treating somebody right now. And it was for something like maybe a sprained leg or something like that. And so I come in, my arm is gushing blood down the side. My arm is gushing blood down the sides of it. And I'm sitting here like, oh, literally on the way to the doctor's office place in the high school, I was laughing like a maniac. Like, at first I was screaming like, holy shit, oh, my arm's bleeding, and then literally like halfway to there I was like, this is so cool, because I'm a guy, and literally like if I see blood, you're like, whoa, look at all the blood. I came into the doctor's office. My friend goes, Coach, this is the man that I was telling you about is here to see you. And he says, I said I would get. His expression immediately changed from annoyed to shocked. He went, oh my god, and he put me on one of the little patient table things, patient beds, and began to wrap my arm in like some silicone bandage or something like that. He asked me what happened, and I was like, I was trying to open a window and the glass shattered. So he ends up calling my mom. He says, you need to come pick up your son now. And she's like, well, I'm a little bit at work, what's the reason? And he's like, he needs to go to the ER. And my mom's like, really? So my mom comes in looking like really shocked, like, where's Laz? Where's Laz? I've got the red bandage all around my arm, and I just like lift up my arm. I'm like, hey mom. She looks at me, she's like, what did you do? And I told her I broke a window trying to come in. We went to the hospital. I ended up getting like 8 stitches in my arm. You can't really see it in the fucking camera because of the lighting or anything, but there's at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side. There's 5 stitches on each side, so I had to get 5 stitches put in there. And there's a scar on here, which my mom says I should get a caterpillar tattoo on, which I really don't understand why. But needless to say, as I was gushing blood onto the way to the high school, I left a blood trail in the concrete. So everybody that passed by is like, what the fuck happened here? So everybody, like, the next few days at school when I had my stitches in my arm, everyone was like, Laz, have you heard about that stupid blood trail that's going around the school? And I'm like, yeah, it's mine. They're like, wait, what? And I'm like, stitches. And they're like, how? So this giant rumor went around that I am this maniac that goes berserk and just decks windows. And I don't know, it's so stupid. It's just, breaking windows is not recommended, kids. Especially if you're trying to get your best friend's stuff. Just bust down the door with your foot next time. Don't. Moral of the story is don't push in and whatever window way you're going. Otherwise it'll break. Just saying.